This mysterious chamber was clearly significant. Perhaps I would finally find the elusive Vorador within. The braziers were all lit, but still the door remained sealed. Perhaps I had ignited too many. This was indeed the vampire warrior depicted in the fountain room, for here was the hero's weapon. This could be the key to solving the riddle of the fountain. When I drove the spear home, the gargoyle was stilled, and the corresponding mural shattered. Perhaps the other murals I'd seen throughout the mansion had been similarly affected. These murals were attuned somehow to those in the fountain room, for this wall too had shattered. Perhaps this arcane emblem would unlock the sealed door in the crypt. The artifact I had was not sufficient. There was clearly still a missing piece to this puzzle. Here was the second piece of the emblem. Now, undoubtedly, the crypt door could be opened. With this third and final weapon, the mystery of the fountain would finally be solved. Here the images were unadulterated, and their meaning ominously clear. The vampire hero, the bearer of the Reaver Blade, was confronted by an adversary worthy of his powers. The enemy race, long banished, had a champion of their own, with flaming eyes and a fiery sword. The resemblance I bore to the adversary mocked all my hopes. Had Kain been the vampire hero of prophecy all along? Did he suspect what I was? For if I was this foretold adversary, then Mobius was right, and had always been right. I was destined to fight Kain and destroy him, or be destroyed. What part did free will play in any of this?
Your deliverance is at hand. In death is your release.
This state is merely atonement.
Once more the Reaver absorbed the spirits of the former vampire guardians, and thus was imbued with the elemental power of water. Perhaps now I could enter that mysterious crypt at the end of the garden.
So, our wretched little savior returns. Come to join the last pathetic battle of the vampire race? But on which side, I wonder?
I've not come to fight you, Vorador.
You don't know why you're here.
I know this much, that you are the author of my fate, and as such, only you can rewrite it.
You give me too much credit.
You forged the Reaver. I have seen the evidence.
I was its maker, yes?
Then you know its purpose.
No. Only the scraps of prophecy my master shared with me.
And do these scraps explain why you would forge a weapon to imprison your savior?
Ah, well then. It seems we have our answer. You've chosen your path.
I have chosen nothing. I've been deceived at every turn. You seem to know what I am. Tell me.
I thought I did once. But now all the prophecies have failed. The pillars are corrupted. I am the last of my kind, and when Mobius's hunters find me, it will have all been for nothing.
You've forgotten about Kain.
Ah, yes, Kain. I fear he shoulders a greater burden than he realizes. I cannot help you, even if I was inclined to. I crafted the Reaver Blade, but only at the behest of my sire, Janos Audron. What sorcery he and the others laid upon the sword afterward, I cannot say.
Janos tried to give me the Reaver before he died. He said that it was forged for me. But what did he mean? As my weapon? Or my prison?
Perhaps you should ask him yourself.
Janos is here.
In a manner of speaking. The greatest of us all, the father of our race. The Seraphim tore the heart from his living body 5 centuries ago.
But there's no sign of decay. How is this possible after all these years?
Somewhere, the heart still beats. and while it does, the body will remain preserved. If his heart could be restored, Janos might yet be raised.
And you haven't tried to recover it in all these years?
Many times, but our enemies hid the heart too well. It was taken as a trophy to Avernus Cathedral centuries ago, where they christened it the Heart of Darkness. Believing that it embodies the essence of our dark gift, they hid the heart away lest it fall into the wrong hands. Our hands. Redeem yourself. You may be our last hope. Perhaps you alone can find the heart if it is meant to be found. If Janos can be resurrected, he will have all the answers you require. This key will open your way to Avernus. But be advised, there are dark sorceries at work in the cathedral. You must be on your guard. Avernus is in flames, and with it, our hopes may evaporate.
How can I find the heart in the midst of such chaos?
You must act quickly. But beware, an ancient evil dwells within, long unspoken among our kind. Undoubtedly, this is the source of the corruption that infects the Circle. If you are to succeed, you must resist its influence.
This history, in part, I knew already. How, as the vampires began to die out, the pillars summoned human guardians to fulfill their roles. It seemed the ancient vampires had adopted, and when necessary, abducted the human guardians and made vampires of them when they came of age, until the humans rebelled against their masters. And here, I made a surprising discovery. It was Mobius, the time streamer, and Mortanius, guardian of death, who led the bloody revolt. Now, I understood why Mobius hated me so intensely. I was the first vampire guardian in all these centuries, and he knew what my coming signified. Or perhaps I reminded him of all he had forsaken. With this fourth and final fragment, the balance emblem was complete. I now had the means to unseal the mysterious chamber at the heart of the Citadel. The door was clearly significant. The answers I sought surely lay within. But to unlock the chamber, the balance emblem had to be fully restored. For my ancient ancestors, the dark gift was clearly a curse, damning them to a kind of spiritual purgatory. But why were they compelled to seal this chamber so securely? Perhaps the lock was not meant to keep intruders out, but to imprison something within.
Kain, scion of balance, savior of Nosgoth.
What is this?
Your arrival is foretold. The fates have willed it.
Is that so?
I am the oracle of your ancestors. I can provide the answers you require. You needn't speak. I know your mind. You seek knowledge of your creature Raziel. This I can offer, if you will look. He has found the body of Janos Ordrum. He journeys now to Avernus Cathedral to seek the Heart of Darkness. You know what this means.
And why would I trust your prophecies?
These events are already written just as you feared. But there is still time. He can be stopped.
If Avernus is in flames, Raziel is 5 centuries beyond my reach.
I may aid you in this regard as well. This portal will transport you in time to the very hour that Raziel arrives in Avernus. This task is yours to carry out, since it was you who made him what he is. When you are ready, you may pass through.
I knew, of course, that this oracle was not to be trusted. But in the end, what choice did I have? This peculiar sensation was familiar to me, and the chamber did indeed appear altered by time. In this regard, at least, the oracle seemed to have been truthful.
I have delivered you faithfully to the very hour you desire. You know what must be done, Kain. There is only one way to prevent Raziel from doing great harm.
He is not my enemy.
But you are his.
From this vantage point, I could see the city of Avernus in flames. The oracle had indeed brought me to the time it promised. It might also be true, then, that Raziel was already there, seeking the Heart of Darkness. If so, he had to be stopped. I could not allow Janos to be raised.
Somewhere in this great cathedral, the Heart of Darkness lay concealed. The city outside was in chaos, and the cathedral would not be immune for long. During such times, buried secrets were often suddenly revealed, or lost forever. I had seen this symbol throughout these ruins. I should have realized what it was they worshipped. Now there was no question, for this scene depicted the ancient vampires' torment and despair as their curse cast them from the wheel of fate. So this was the god whose abandonment had driven them to madness and suicide. Finally, I understood. It was not the bloodthirst, but their immortality that was the true nature of their enemy's curse. The wisest, strongest, most noble race, gulled by the voice of that old parasite. But I had seen him, and whatever he was no god.
All upon the wheel are blessed.
Rejoice in the turning of the wheel.
It does turn, but we cannot see it.
Your wheel is a lie.
We will turn the wheel.
Come.
Die.
This spirit vessel was shielded by layers of occult energy. There had to be some means to dispel this barrier. As the Reaver absorbed the souls of the original Energy and Time Guardians, it was imbued with the elemental power of Earth with which their principles were aligned.